Okay, so welcome back. I have gone ahead and created the other three um, three layers for our walk cycle. So let's look at our entire project now and kind of see where we're at. So I'm going to hide by clicking in this little eyeball area here all of the layers and show them one by one. So here is my walk background. And you can see I've been using these lines here, but let's say I wanted to get rid of that artwork. How can I put my own lines in? Very simply by going to View, Rulers. And then just like in Photoshop, I can pull a ruler out so I can place guidelines. And this is really useful for things, you know, like this, where I want to know where is the head going and where is the what's the position of the feet. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll keep that on. Let's go ahead and hide the walk art. Here's the character art. This has been really useful for me because what I've been primarily doing with the character art is using it to make sure that the face is pretty much the same and the torso is pretty much the same, screen to screen. If I had more time, actually, I would concentrate even more on that and more on sort of the movement of the hair and maybe some blinking and things like that. But for right now, that's the character art. So that's a guide for me. I have the contact position. As you can see, this is where foot is straight out, toe is pointed up, back leg is kind of a little bit curved, and then contact toe to the ground. Recoil, as you can see, the leg starts to go in kind of like it's not really an L shape, but a little bit of a bend there. And then the back leg also, there's a bit of a bend. You can see that he's coming down. So his head is not anymore touching this guideline up here. But feet always remain planted on the bottom, what we would know as the ground. As you can see too, the arms are swinging a little bit more. All right, let's turn these off. And then this is our next position. This is our passing position. Again, here now look, the head is up because the feet are straight, pushing the whole body up. And we have a straight leg here, and then that back leg is starting to come up at the knee. And again, we have this foot pointed out in that direction. And lastly, this is our high point. This is the highest point. If I turn both of these on, you can see that this is the highest point of the animation. This is where that back leg is swinging front and is almost going to come down now in that first position, which is the contact position. And that would be the next frame that we would make. All right, but I don't have any animation up here in my timeline yet. And so in order to do that, let's go ahead and what we'll do, I don't really need these anymore, these two, the templates I've been using. So what I'm going to do is save this now as walk 2 because I'm going to make a change. Oops, let me save that as walk 3, sorry. Save that as walk 3. My main reason for saving at this point is that I'm going to delete 2 layers, and at some point I might want to come back and get those again. So you know, it's good just to have backups of your work. So I'll go ahead and delete those 2. So now all I have are these layers. Let's go ahead and show all of these. You'll notice over here that I have these little points. These represent keyframes in this timeline, and this timeline is measured by 24 frames per second. I can change that frame rate again by moving in that direction or directly typing in. I'll keep it 24 frames per second. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the second one, the recoil position, and just move it over. Click and move it over, the third one, and the fourth one, click and move that one over. So now, as you can see in my timeline, I've staggered these views. Oops. Sorry. This guy lets you see an outline or a wireframe view. I don't want to do that. I rarely ever have to do that. But anyhow, you can see the motion starting to happen. If I come up here to control, I can test, and I can see that I've got a walkCycle. Ooh, is it going fast? I wonder what that looks like at 12 frames per second. Let's change our frame rate, and let's take a look. A little bit better. That's a little bit more believable. Still, I would do a lot of things to refine this, but for the time being, I think you get the idea. Now, the question happens, what if I want to take this whole walkCycle, and what if I want to have the entire walkCycle become just one whole symbol that I can move around the screen? So in other words, what would happen if I wanted to actually make him smaller now and move him over here? Well, that's really hard to do because I've got all of these layers in this main timeline. But we have the opportunity to create what we call movie clips.